Hey, it's Matt Stevenson with Cylance, and we are talking with Rick Bryant. Rick, you are the National Healthcare Architect at Veritas, but you've got an interesting background. It hasn't always been about data protection from a storage and recovery angle. Give us a little bit of the history.
Well, my experience really started out in technology until I grew and started running the technology for MD Anderson Cancer Center and also for Texas Children's. You know, I'm based in Houston, and my passion for technology started translating into healthcare as it started to digitize. So it's been kind of interesting journey, right? Starting out from the foundation of IT and governance, and then moving into roles like CISO and starting to be concerned about the security as well as the effectiveness and availability of the technology. So it's been very interesting.
And from the healthcare angle, when we say data protection, you've been on all sides of the fence, the security angle, storage and recovery, and I think specifically for healthcare, it's such an issue now with ransomware and everything that we're seeing. It's not just about compliance as far as storage and recovery is concerned, it's about staying up and running.
Yeah, absolutely. The availability of healthcare systems has always been critical. Yeah, it's interesting being in this industry as long as I have several friends that are doctors, and I've talked to some of them, and some of them like that are emergency room doctors. They're like, I could still provide healthcare without technology, and then others are like, I could provide healthcare, life-saving healthcare, but what kind of quality would it be without diagnostic imaging, without pathology, without labs? So the quality and the safety is much improved with the technologies, and it's become core to their business, where it literally introduces patient care risk if you don't have access to a lot of these security controls within the technology.
And Dr. Quinn, medicine woman, did do it for about 8 years, but just think if she had this technology available.
Oh, yeah.
So as we evolve now, and we are always, it seems like playing on defense, what is the role that Veritas is doing specifically as you guys evolve from storage and recovery to a more 360-degree data protection?
Oh, it's been an interesting journey, right? We've always looked at security as being confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And Veritas has always played a big part in terms of the data protection, Gartner Magic Quadrant for more than 15 years. But data protection and availability has changed drastically, right? There was a time when a system could be down for 4 to 8 hours to recover it, but now think about the impact to patient care, to quality, and to revenue cycle. So there's tiers. And as part of the security aspect, I always feel like we're a critical component of the defense in depth, along with Cylance. Cylance protects the perimeter and the endpoints, but you also have to have the ability to recover and to be able to survive disasters, right? So healthcare is defined by the federal government as critical infrastructure. That means that police get restored, fire get restored, and then the hospitals get restored. And then you think about that, it makes sense. In any type of event, you have to have those three components: for civil order, for protect property and assets, and also to be able to heal people and to take care of them as well. So ransomware, I've had a lot of conversations about ransomware lately. Started about 2 years ago when healthcare was specifically being targeted. So we knew that the value of a credit card information was about 50 cents to $1.50 on the black market. But a fully comprehensible medical record could be worth as much as $200 to $250. So what do criminals do? They go to where the money is. They started specifically attacking healthcare because think about all the stuff you can get from a medical record. You can get medical fraud, so I could go and get healthcare based saying that I'm you. And then in today's world, that record then becomes part of your permanent history, right? So I worry about the qualities of that. But with ransomware, it kind of brought us back. We'd all been working to higher levels of availability. In fact, I remember in several hospitals, the EMR has to be up and it actually fail over real time. It's that critical. And those high-level systems were completely susceptible to ransomware because what happens? As soon as one partition gets corrupted with ransomware, it immediately copies over to the second one.
Exactly.
So it again brings us back to our foundation of defense in depth. Protect your perimeter, protect your endpoints, but also have a good backup and disaster recovery capability.
Now, you said for the last couple of years you've really been going after ransomware. Not that as an industry we've got that licked, but as you are looking to the future for the next 2 years, 5 years, are there other things that you are, as we deal with ransomware, what are the next big things that you guys are looking to take down?
Oh, it's interesting. I was thinking that in healthcare especially, most of the value, most of the capital and operating expenses would go towards patient care. It makes sense. So I feel like as an industry, we've underinvested in it for years. Working as part of Chime and HIMSS, we've found that IT budgets have gone up 74% for the past 2 years, year over year. So they're starting to take a real strong look at it and put the money in, invest in the protections and capabilities. Ransomware is continuing out there. In fact, I work with a lot of big providers. They get hit with at least one ransomware a month. But with good process and good controls, you can recover relatively rapidly and you never have to pay the ransom. What's coming out now, I think, is even more interesting. There's new toolkits that are coming out in terms of being able to hack your iPhone, being able to look at your smart devices. I had the Alexa and the Google Home and the smart.
You're just giving all that information away.
Yeah, we volunteer it. It's unlike in healthcare where you have to have express consent. In our real world, in the technology world, how often do you actually read the EULA before you hit accept?
Right,
I don't. So we're opening this stuff up for a whole new generation. At the same time, healthcare is getting more complex, right? They're starting to embrace cloud services, which is good. It'll provide a lot of cost savings and agility, but it creates new challenges as well.
So if people are looking for more information for what you guys are up to at Veritas, where can they go?
Oh, we actually have a great website presence. Come visit us at our booth. 865, I believe, is our booth location. We're going to be here all week. And also reach out to me, Rick Bryant. It's rick.bryant1@veritas.com.
Oh man, look at that personal contact information.
That's right. I'll try to get to it as quick as possible. To your point, though, coming from the healthcare arena, I do have a lot of roles, right? So my biggest role has always been, I want to be the solution focus for Veritas. So we have some healthcare specific product development that we're doing. We're starting to tie it into clinical processes and business analytics. That's kind of the exciting part of healthcare. Now that we've digitized, we've collected all this data, how are we going to be able to find that critical data, not only to protect it from a security standpoint, but to leverage it, right? There's a reason they call it practicing medicine. You get 4 doctors in a room, you come out with 6 opinions. So when
It's got to be the oldest joke in healthcare.
It's so true. I have 100 stories. Now they're starting to really quantify that, right? Saying, okay, Dr. Snigglefritz over here has developed a cost-effective and patient-effective treatment. Now let's span that out and push that to the rest of the organization while continuously and iterating improvements on it.
So our man's not on Twitter, but he did actually give you his email address, so keep that in mind. You can also find him at veritas.com. If you're looking for us, all the good information is at www.blogs.cylance.com. On Twitter, we are at Cylance Inc. and at Cylance Insider. And if you're looking for me, it's at PacMat73. All kinds of cool stuff going on, so come on back.